Hi, everybody. How are you? It's Priestess and Medium Rosalind. Welcome back, Soul Family. You know, I love you and I'm doing what is in the highest good for us and to help you all out and give you guidance and clarity and discuss with you how things work here with me and to give you guided insight that's in depth according to your situations, okay? So I hope you all are doing well, enjoying your weekend. We've got a new moon coming in a couple days or one day. And I want you all to understand and realize that you are powerful. You've got a lot of momentum and a lot of choices in your situation, even if you're down in the dumps. Even if you're down in the dumps, you had a breakup recently, or you're in the middle of something really emotional with your family, your coworkers at your job, you always have power in any situation. And that is why I learned more and more about shamanic healing, hoodoo, root work. I love doing those things to help others manifest and break through and to feel better and to feel powerful and realize, your life is not about suffering. It's about enjoying it, being powerful, and using your gifts, and learning whatever it was you came here to learn. We all have a soul mission and a task here, okay? So as I am going through the client A, B, and C, because I don't use people's, their names. They don't want to be identified. They want to remain anonymous. But I wanted to give you all an opportunity every week. You can send me an email and I may answer your question through one of my client guidance sessions on YouTube for you all to see and understand how I work and how you can benefit from that, okay? So I'm going to say client A, client B, and client C. So we have a few different scenarios, okay? So the first one is client A. I'm going to call her client A. She wrote into me and we worked together on readings and then on some things to do afterwards that are going to help her to elevate, okay? Her questions were, about her relationship and her reconciliation. Okay, she wanted to reconcile with her former fiance. Okay, no longer a fiance. What's happening here is that her fiance is actually not healed. His ancestors are working with him. So he's experiencing some drug addiction. He's also experiencing wanting to fit in and be part of his, be cool with his boys, doing things that probably he's been doing for about 15 years now. Okay. He's about 34 years old and he's been doing these things for years, since his teens, drinking, staying out, non-committal, chasing skirts, doing things that someone else may suggest. I do feel there is another woman involved. I saw that very clearly, and I listened to spirits as I'm reading, higher guided spirits. And this person, this guy is, even though they were together for a while, they were together for years, they never did get married. So her questions are about how to reconcile and how to make things better where they will stay together, and may eventually become married one day. Okay, she wanted to clearly know those things. So, what I was seeing very clearly in the reading, as I briefly stated, is that his energy is really not matched. It's not ready for any sort of commitment. The cards I saw, information from spirit really let me know that he is on a different energy path, even though he is her soulmate. Okay, he's on a completely different vibration, a completely different path, and he has to undergo a lot of healing and a lot of release of this addiction and toxic energy. He has a lot of mood swings. It's really a disorder. Clinically, I would say this is a disorder, not just alcohol and drug addiction. He really does have a disorder with obsessing and compulsing and not healing these wounds from the past. So spiritually, his ancestors have him on a different path. So with her, he's not going to come into this full committed marriage, this union, this engagement that is going to lead to marriage. It's not there for them. And I don't see it there for them for another 3 to 5 years. And that 3 to 5 years is only if she decides to work on this issue. And if she decides that she does want to put time, energy, and, all of her motivation and goals into this reconciliation. Okay, so let's look at this openly. Okay, because I look at both sides and I never tell someone exactly what to do because we're all creatures of free will, right? So for her, I do recommend bath rituals, detoxing, banishment, cleansing, because it has affected a lot of her emotional well being, her mental, her thoughts and mood swings and actions. They're lining up with someone who is crossed up, someone who is filled with toxic energy, especially if you've been intimate with this person for a while. You do a lot of energy exchange through sexual intimacy. So for her, I really recommend banishment and cleansing, bath rituals, you know, cleansing, candles, banishment, different oils you can use to help you maintain that flow and maintain your depth of cleansing and banishment through the day. You can carry these oils with you. I create a lot of these things. And this is something that, of course, she may never want to fully accept this. Now, we talked on this. This is something that I explained that she needs to take some extra time and consider what she truly would like to do. Think about her own goals in life, her goals of being happy, work on self love, work on raising your vibration to a point that it may not be so important for, this wait, putting time and energy into waiting on him. You can create a lot of spiritual bacteria, a lot of cords, a lot of crossing up other parts of your life if you are waiting and holding and dwelling in a situation like that. So ultimately, I did discuss with her, that I feel cleansing, banishing, releasing these toxins from this relationship. Perfect. I think that's the perfect thing to do. Waiting on this, this person that she still loves to come around while his ancestors are working with him or while he's trying to find himself in his soul's path and his soul's journey. That is just, it's a toss up. Everyone has free will, and he may decide to stay that way, for a long time. I'm seeing at least 3 to 5 years. Okay, so that is client A, and that's the situation there with so many females. And I see so many females waiting. So many of you beautiful goddesses waiting, the feminine, almost in a holding space of dwelling. And it may never lead to a good, fulfilling marriage because the energy is all blocked up. Okay. All right. So let's go to client B, which client B really feels that, they're crossed up. They feel as if, and that's kind of a hoodoo root work term. When I say crossed up, it's when you feel that someone has put something on you, someone has done bad magic to you, someone has cursed you, and you feel that your roads are crossed up. He's not able to find the job that he wants. He's not able to find the money that he wants. He's not able to stay in a relationship that he feels is good for him, or finding the type of person that he thinks is good for him. He also is an entrepreneur, which a lot of us now, we are, so many of us by the thousands a year. Various people feel that their skills and their creativity, it really can lead to income. And I've seen that happen. I've seen that progression before. So if you are an entrepreneur, that's wonderful. I mean, I think that you should thrive and check into what exactly may be holding you back or what can help you to thrive. Okay. So with him, I looked into it, and basically what's happening here is he is still relying on some of the choices and options from maybe 5 to 10 years ago that were good for him and leading to, a good hourly rate. But now, as he progresses and he's learning how to open up to spirit and what his ancestors have for him, what his spirit guides are trying to tell him in his dreams, he's trying to open to the next level. And in order to open to the next level, you have to make sure that your roads and paths are open and clear. Okay. So with him, I am definitely recommending that he starts to write down his dreams, his things that are in his imagination that he's always wanted to do, all of his creative skills that are special to him, things that have been, wonderful, awesome, creative things for him since childhood. Those are usually gifts that we come in with, that we're blessed with. Those are the things that he needs to manifest and magnify by law of attraction, making a vision board. Okay. Also, he needs to go to his own, he needs to align to his own ideals of what is successful and what his dreams are, not according to an hourly rate by an employer, not what his parents told him that he really should do to line up to their goals. This is something that is going to manifest from within and start, happening on the outside. And as he starts to work on this, he needs to make sure that his paths and his roads are open and clear, that nothing is actually blocking him. Right now, what's blocking is his mental thoughts and his connections to how to reach his goals. Because, he's actually going backwards into these pre programmed things we have in our minds and our thoughts, what our parents told us, what a boss told us, what other people around us who may have a nice car or home, they may have said something about, only working an hourly rate, only have this type of insurance, only, work for these types of companies, only doing 9 to 5s, etc. His is all about expansion of self. And as he manifests and creates from the inside, it will start to match the outside. The outside will start to match his vibration and frequency. So for him, I'm recommending not only cleansing, but road opening, activation, certain bath rituals, bath salts, certain roots and herbs that I work with to help him to open, align, and to manifest. Also, beautiful candle conjure. Candles are really, I love working with candle magic and working with those with my clients because fire is such a strong element. It's full of creativity and passion. And it's also a way to call in spirit. And it makes working with your ancestors much easier as well. So his are about opening success, crown of success, opening his roads, opening his ways, being a money magnet, believing that money is attracted to him, that people are attracted to his business, really magnifying and making it big, putting it out into the universe after he's sure and concrete on it in his mind. So vision boards are also very powerful. Creating a magic journal is also very powerful. Okay, just really creating that journal and intending it for your dreams and what you want to manifest. Okay. All right. So, client C. Okay, let's move on to client C. I'm trying not to be really long winded, but it's a lot to explain that I wanted you all to understand. Okay. I wanted you to understand it as I'm explaining it, so I can't rush too quickly through it. So, client C. Okay, they have something that's kind of, for some, they might think it's kind of frightening. Okay, and I'm not trying to frighten anybody so much, but it is a real thing. It's a reality that a lot of people have experienced this, okay? And it really sometimes comes from within. This person feels they're being blocked and attacked within their own home, okay? She also feels that it's a spirit there that may have come from someone who passed on in her family, and that she literally feels afraid, especially at night. And even with the dreams that she's been having, she feels like she's being attacked. Okay. And she's even afraid to really explore her gifts, her psychic abilities, her gifts of becoming more spiritual. She's afraid because she feels that it's really going to lead to something demonic, something satanic. And everyone has different thoughts and views on what that really means too, because some people don't believe in the devil, like a lot of us were raised. Oh, some people don't even believe in that. But for her, what I'm seeing ultimately is that it is something there spiritually and it's residual. Okay. Now, how does that get so strong? Because sometimes these things are really, really strong. Because for years I've done shamanic healing and I'll go into trance, with a drum, and I can see things that are taking place in the home and in the home environment, in the family, on the property of our homes and where we live. We often don't realize it needs to be blessed. Okay. It needs to be blessed and it needs to be set to a certain vibration. Sometimes spirits will come and help you and bless your space. They work with me when I'm doing home blessings. I've even done blessings and cleansings of public places, of museums and everything where there's a lot of spirits. And usually there are spirits that will work with you in the highest good and help you to keep your area safe, your home safe, clear, where your vibration can be much more relaxed and at peace, and to feel that, it is a blessing to have that space and that it is sacred to relax and feel good in your home without anything bothering you, without any kind of spirit or attachment bothering you, making you have strange dreams, making you feel unsafe, bumps, noises, door shutting. I mean, all those things can happen. And sometimes what we don't realize is that it is an ancestor. Sometimes it's not some spirit there that's actually trying to attack you. Sometimes your ancestors are trying to let you know about something taking place in the family. They may want you to dream and have a premonition or a psychic vision of something that's really important in the family for the next generation, etc. And they don't always know how to let that, come across in a very peaceful way. Sometimes they're trying to get our attention. Okay, another thing is that, sometimes, and with her case in particular, I felt something happen in her home before, and that there is an actual spirit there with her. Okay, but there are prayers, commandments, bath rituals. There are certain days that you should do this. There are certain blends that I create, resins, there's sages, they're like smudge blends. I create a lot of smudge feathers as well. But what it does is it sets up an actual cleansing, an actual vibration and frequency, because these herbs and roots that I use, they are really there for us to use for multiple purposes, mundane purposes, magical purposes, spiritual purposes. So she is actually, going to get that. She's going to have these roots and herbs there that I create. She's going to use them in a smudge blend. She's going to do this every so many days that I prescribe for her. The spirit is showing me what's going on with this. And it usually makes an immediate difference. Also, the candles I use for banishment and cleansing, it usually makes an immediate difference. So as she becomes more aware of this, as her husband becomes more aware of this, they can start to work on the right frequency